As Dawn took her throne, we strapped canvas to the mast and made ready to embark. It was Elpenor's oar that pointed the way. Circe's warning still coiled through my ears and screamed upon my brain, while the pervading wind impressed upon us the urgency to depart. But the mercy of the tide is merely Poseidon's benevolence, shifty as the seas. The Sirens' shore had a reputation, a grim one, fixed in legend amongst seafaring men. There was no breeze. The sea lay flat as plate glass, and a faint chill slipped across the deck. Our charge: I alone must hear the Sirens' call and soundly determine which way we go. As we drew near the Siren shore, the wind ceased. Not slowly, not gently, but as if some hand had silenced a screaming throat. The deadened sail sagged, the rigging hissed, and the water deadpooled. I warmed pliable wax by kneading it betwixt my doughy palms until it softened. Then I stopped each ear, a vice upon iron wrought, which Circe bade, sealing us away from ruin, preserved by inaction. Then they bound me upright to the pinewood pole, stacking cord over cord, muscle upon mass, across my heart, binding my will to timber. Alas, until my body became a guiding staff, like the prow before the mast. And then the Sirens sang. Their voices were not loud. They did not need to be. They poured honey through sweet whisperings, so slow, so sweet. For my ears, quite the tantalizing treat. For they promised all knowledge, the end of constant sorrow. They promised instant relief if by Charybdis I go. Constrained and constricted, I was enchanted. I cursed the ropes and I ordered loyal men to disobey, but they would not let me debark. When I demanded release, their hands bound me tighter still, until the ship and I became one, while the voices lengthened, recoiled, and fell away. When the Sirens faded, smoke and brackish waters roiled ahead, and the sea began to speak again, loud, hungry, and mean. My companions were men of salt, honorable and loyal. Fear was cast away and had no place amongst them. Yet the strait punishes the smallest drift. Stroke matched to stroke, they held the line. The keel ran true between cliff and whirl. I walked the deck with heavy steps to steady every heart. Each man was given words to rise to the occasion, as if breath could hold back death with persuasion. I dared not speak Scylla's name and give my men a face to fear that could not be tamed. Staying the course was the only option. We drove upon the dire strait, near the venomous cliffs where no shield could save. The miasma clouded the air, in itself made insane. The sea boiled hard on one side and the rock rose hard on the other, and the ship was caught between a rock and a hard place when Scylla fell upon them. Not a battle, an ambush, an abduction. 6 men lifted from the earth as horse upon turf. Their hands clawed at air, their voices did the same. And in that calling I heard their cries. Helpless I was, because it was insane. Bravely we endured, for we durst not turn. To turn was Charybdis, she would not miss her due. To hold was Scylla, dangerous, for we held straight as an arrow, As we rode away, she did not cease. She sheared us like sheep, caught 2 and 20, half of us taken. As the living nightmare unraveled, we found Thrinacia, where the sun god Helios's cattle grazed, 18-fold, untouched, accounted by gods, explicitly forbidden. I gathered my crew and swore them to their oaths. Not one voice raised, not one objection made, not one excuse drawn. For there was fear above all. I had told them what Tiresias, the blind prophet, foresaw. Yet hail winds pinned our keel. Day after day, Poseidon refused us passage. Not enough oars to push against the wine-dark sea. Our food ran out, our patience croaked, our savage nature stood uncloaked. And I sank down among the barley, although my crew was dissatisfied with vetch. They found cattle already dead, a caveat, they said. Roasting rose in smoke. The scent of it was thick, and I awoke. In a panic, I screamed. In smoke, I choked. By chariot came the sun god Helios, and his gaze was no joke. The cattle were found dead. Now a rent oath lay upon his land. Thunder spoke. Clouds grew. And I knew. The sound by which farmers gained relief was an omen of more grief. When winds fell off into dead calm, we launched again, desperate, asking for Hermes' wings in flight, post-haste. But the sun god Helios, high upon his horse, let loose a storm that blotted out his own course. Trembling as the tier of canvas fell, I turned, shaken from the land, and I knew it was Poseidon's plan. We clung to the hull. We grabbed at the mast on bitter tide. Anything. Alas, the last vestige I held, and we said goodbye. The sea rolled me like debris, and darkness covered everything. And then in degree, déjà vu, a perfect circle, and I knew towards Charybdis it grew. The whirl pulled at the sea, cyclonic and me. Hiss, tore, re. The boards that kept me living edged toward sorrow and misery, for there would be no tomorrow. Charybdis's roar swallowed me whole, but though my will was circumvented, I stayed true and was protected. In a divine intervention, Dionysus provided his limb, salvation. So I dangled, I waited, until Charybdis gave back what she had taken. When the boards rose again, I dropped bare to drifting wood, not spared, only not finished. Then waves bore me to Ogyges green, where Calypso resides in her sea-flung ring, hidden, sweet, and terrible for my grief. She found me broken and made me whole, but would not let me go. She promised me immortality. She promised me ease. But mortality allows for mystery. When age is denied, detaching you'll find only sweet misery. I stared at Penelope from across the sea, for nothing else mattered to me. By day I sat upon stone and let my eyes atone. By night, insufferable alone. For years I endured comfort that could not grow a home. Time passed the way it came, not in days but in the mundane. Yet my prayers did not turn to ash. Athena stirred the courts above. Zeus decided and decreed my release. He sent fleet-of-foot Hermes, the messenger of the gods, to deliver his command. Saltier than a dog, Calypso gave me tools and made way. Wood to cut, pegs to drill, lashings to bind canvas to, a raft, a wind. And at last she set me facing home, letting go. But Poseidon spied my raft and raised his hand. He did not forget what I had done to his son. He broke my raft in half and flung me into his wrath. Waves rose like the walls of Troy before me. The sky closed over me. Salt filled my lungs, and I succumbed to the deep. Ino then appeared, and as Dionysus's nurse, she believed me to be true and provided me with a veil to wear, an act of unspeakable mercy. She told me to let go of what is already lost, trust my body, trust myself. I swam upon the veil for 2 nights, and with every stroke I put Penelope first. At last, Scaria's shore rose in my path. I beached myself and crawled beneath 2 olive trees, for Poseidon was done, for now. At dawn, a natural beauty came with maidens, laughter on the air. Their play forced me into waking, and I rose in ruin before them, perfectly ragged, salt-encrusted, human. She did not scream. She did not panic. She gave me clothes, then led me with caution and ease to her father, King Alcinous. Before I crossed over the threshold of the king, gray-eyed Athena set her favor upon me. Like a cyclone it fell upon me, not bronze, not faith, but God-given grace. Deep in pronation, she steadied my posture, she guided my gait. In the king's halls they set me upright. Xenia finally done, with such sweet relief. Honey delights and baked treats, hearth-lit faces and feelings of home, and they drank from milky white cups. And at once, I began to feel some luck. Then the bard struck up a song of Troy's long war and of heroes bold, of the prolonged years by heroes trying to return home. In lamentation, my tears ran down behind my cloak. And when the song ended, the king asked what name wore such a mask of pain. What man sits amongst friends and gifts and still tastes ash and hides in shame? I wept again, and the king called for my name. No longer could I hide behind borrowed clothes without giving my name. So I spoke at last. Who am I? I am a man skilled in all ways of contending. I am a raider of cities. I am a leader of lost men. I am the son of Laertes. I am the man you were singing of. I am Odysseus.